crumbs around your mouth.
With my teeth.
Alright.
Network to get work, I love it. If I put it in my butt, then I did it. Couldn't give a toss about an image. Some more time to think a nigga tripping. Leave a nigga permanently kipping. Something that got dead if the other don't kick him. Bring it to the council, council said kill him. We ain't having that bullshit in this village. Motor for every girl is me with a women. Tribal business, die for my women. Big blood clot, empire man billing. Them I go on like them down on the mission.
Tonight I've got 3 special guests and we're doing this on parenting. So first, I'm going to introduce to you Lavern Major, Sarah Carr and the one Kailem. This is all about parenting. I'd like you lot to introduce yourselves as well. So I think we'll start with you over there on the far side.
Hi, yes, I'm Sarah. I'm a mum of 2 boys who are 12 and 14. I'm an artist development leader as well as a part-time model and Miss M&B.
So, I'm Lavern Major. I am a empowerment coach. I have a business called Major Model Behaviour, which focuses on women, empowering them, making them feel good about themselves, good about their bodies. We have a boot camp, which is really, really exciting, really, really innovative. And we also do a live shopping experience and a catwalk where, you know, like the women go out and they model, raise the self-esteem, their own self-esteems and the self-esteems of the women in the audience as well. So yeah, I do that. I also am volunteering for Scouts. My 3 kids attend Scouts and it's something that I like to do. I like to be outdoors, and I also work in hostels with young girls, you know, that are like homeless and stuff like that. So that's kind of a little bit about what I do. Amongst other things, but we can obviously get into that a bit more after.
If you could introduce yourself, please.
Yes, my name is Kailem. I have 3 boys and a daughter. And I do music, tech, producing and a range of other jobs.
Thank you very much. So thank you for my 3 special guests and their introductions. Like I said, this is about parenting, and the first question I want to ask is, could you describe yourself as a parent? I think I'll start with you again over there, Sarah.
I would say I've learned to be a fair parent. I think a lot of the time we learn things that aren't always right, and it takes an adult, it takes you as an adult to fix them, correct them and become a fairer parent than whatever circumstances you've learned in the times and generations you've learned from your own parents.
Okay, I like that. What you got to say with that?
Well, I think for me, I would say, I see, you know, people would say that, oh, well, what did they used to call me? Nanny 911 or super mum or something, because I'm very active when it comes to a parent. I believe in good education. I believe that you should teach children not to be spoiled and show them, you know, how to be humble and that not to take things for granted in life. Manners, respect, you know, the basics. I was raised kind of like, you know, with the old school Jamaican, you know, I had all them parables and things that I had to work out what life was all about. I knew then that these are gems that I've got to pass on, you know, the basics. I'm one of them West Indian, you know, but still current kind of parents. I tap in to all resources. I want my children to feel comfortable when they're out in the world. I want them to feel like just, you know, they're black children, they're powerful, and they can still mix amongst all societies. And I think, don't get me wrong, like there's times when I do put a lot of pressure on because I feel like you can't really slack when you're a black person. And your family dynamics as well can have an impact on that. So my thing is that, you know, we haven't got no time to waste. So unfortunately, you need to get your head down and do what needs to be done. At the same time, I let them have fun and let them have a childhood. You know, I'm a single mom, so there might be things that, you know, there was times when I did live with my youngest two's dad, and the discipline was a lot easier. I noticed the difference when there is father in the home. things change completely when you're a single mum, but at the same time, you can still keep some sort of discipline in the home and do your thing. Like, life doesn't have to be that crap. So yeah, I like being a parent, and
Yeah, that's cool.
that's what I got to say.
That was a great explanation.
Question,
Thank
please. Question again, please.
Describe yourself as a parent. Describe yourself as a parent.
All right. Yeah. Well, I have to admit, I suppose I'm a bit of a strict parent. I think I'm a bit, overprotective. I'd say, yeah, I'm more of an overprotective parent. That can be in a good way, and it also can be in a bad way, I suppose. Nobody's actually really taught how to be a parent. There's no real correct way.
Definitely agree with that.
Obviously.
No rule book.
Yeah, but I'd say I try my best to, educate my children and give them as much guidance, from the standpoint of how this world is as, black children, or, that is the word that is used to describe us. So, but I try to give them as much knowledge as possible on that. It's a real battle out here. Parenting is not the same for everybody.
Differences.
Yeah, different for different people, different stroke for different folk. Everybody's in a different position. Yeah, I agree with you fully there. So, what's the best advice as a parent we could give to our children? If anybody wants to answer on that first, I won't pick at nobody.
Well, I would first off say, the main thing to do is make sure that you're ready to be a parent, rather than just run into, a situation off of lust or, emotions, because being a parent is a serious thing. Your life has to change after that. It's not, oh, okay, then I can just go and put this toy back, or I can just, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a toy, it's real life. You know what I mean? And you could try and carry on living your life the same way you lived it before. But what about your children? So, yeah, that would be one major piece of advice. And I'll just say that's, being set, really, being able to, not have to worry about, financial stability before.
Can I ask you a question within what you said? How would you go about making sure that you're ready to, So how would you go about making sure that you're ready to have children?
Well, that's what I was basically answering when I was saying that, is as in stability, that you're financially ready. So it's not a struggle that you've got to find time to be able to work and earn a living. Do you know what I mean? Your main attention is focused on being able to raise your children.
We live in a Western world, right,
I know.
People expect me to be an amazing mother and an amazing person at work. You know what I mean? And that's an unfair standard, because somewhere something's got to slip.
Exactly.
That's life.
Yeah.
There's no 100%.
Yeah,
and then if you've got a relationship on top of that, everything's about having a bit of give and take on all sides. So there's no major thing to say. What your idea of stability is financial stability, but to other people it'll be emotional stability, because someone could give you a man, you could go have a man with a job and he comes on and cuffs you in the head. You know what I mean? And that's not stable. But to some people, you've highlighted that that's an important, is finance for you, but not for everybody.
It could, like you said,
I would teach my kids to be happy. And
to be loved.
To be happy, because happiness is a part of the love.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You've got to find things that make you happy, people that make you happy. There's no point going into jobs that you're going to suffer. My kids ain't mundane, so I ain't pushing no mundane onto them. I'm pushing special onto them, because they are special. And they prove that to me. And maybe because I drill that and affirm it to them every single day about how amazing they're going to be as adults, that's why I think happiness is one of the highest things. So many kids are miserable.
Yeah.
Looking at a telly.
So in answering that, to both of you, So you said planning to be a parent. Do you think that's possible? Do you think it is? Do you think it works that way?
I think it depends on the person. If you've had an upbringing where you can see another parent, not per se your mum or your dad, a parent, and that's a caregiver, somebody who's give you the moral compasses of how you raise yourself, then you can say how to raise another. You know, some people haven't had their moral upbringings, and then they're going to struggle, and they might be able to seek support and grow from there, but that's not all people, and we know this because we see them.
Yeah.
That's true.
For me, advice, I think I kind of see it as, I remember when I had my daughter, when I, you know, my first child, and I was like 20, and I thought like, you know, my main thing I was worrying about was what I'm going to give her to eat. I don't know why, but I was thinking, what, I can't cook baby food, you know what I mean? And then, you know, it dawned on me that I've just got to read, I've got to research, I've got to talk, you know, you got to just kind of, if you want to be a good parent, yeah, or, you know, the advice...
This is the advice you're giving.
Sorry, yeah, so the advice you're going to give to your children, sorry, so back on the point, yeah, is, you know, kind of just live your life, find out who you are. That's my main thing, you've got to know who you are, because it's something that I learned probably later on.
That's what you're going to tell the child, find out who you are.
Yeah, like, you know, teach them, get them to know who you are, know what you're about. Do you understand? Know your weaknesses and know your strengths. Yeah? Then I'll give them the basics, like be around good people, good energy, you know? Get them to understand themselves.
In what order would you do them things?
In what order? So the basics would probably be taking care of yourself, you know? Basic hygiene.
What ways? Okay,
what do you mean?
cool.
Yeah, basic hygiene, what you're eating, you know, looking after yourself, and making sure, you know, money, making sure that when you leave home you can fend for yourself, right? But at the same time, I don't know, you can't come in any order. Do you know what I mean? Because I've got three.
All of them things are sort of like what we all strive for our kids in that sense.
And that's what I was going to say.
But advice-wise, when we say give advice to your child, remember at different ages they're asking different questions, and so throughout their whole life you're giving advice. All I can ever do is what I know, and I always tell them, that, you know, I'm only going to tell you from my life experiences. Do you understand what I mean?
I'm listening.
And that's it really. I'm going to tell you the best. Anything I'm telling you is for the best of you, and you're still going to be you, and you're going to make your own choices. Do you know what I mean? But at least you've been shown the right way. That's it. That's kind of what it is, because kids, you know, children, they grow up to be their own person, and sometimes they're not like what you want them to be. They're them. Yeah, I mean, do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Most their own
definitely. They're their own people.
Yeah. So for me, I've learned now to keep it generic and just make sure the grounding, you know, I make sure they can
might
pray.
want them to do ballet and they want to do tennis.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? They're so not into anything that you're into or how you lived your life. They're growing up in a whole different time. Yeah, so, yeah.
What about yourself, sir? What's the advice you've given her?
Well, other than being happy, like, it's kind of generic to your child, and your child is going to find different difficulties in life. You know, every child's going to have weaknesses. Every child's got to learn consequence. You know, too many kids don't know consequences of behaviour.
Yeah, true.
And that's a major thing to teach our kids.
It's probably a challenge, isn't it?
In a lot of homes, because we go, you can't watch that, and then all of a sudden they've got the phone and they're watching something else, and then they found another avenue, and we're so busy, we've got to cook dinner, we've got to be on this, that we're now shouting at them because they're not listening the third or the second or the third time. But it's that
funny you say that.
Consequences and teaching our kids the action of consequences. So the advice I'm giving my kids is that every action has a reaction.
As a consequence.
Not just it's not just consequence. Some things have got positive reactions, and it's not a consequence. It's a reward. So everything has a reaction. So your work, it has a reaction, and the work means that you find something that pays off.
I've realised what I would teach my child, and I think it's what I got told. Manners and respect will carry you through the world. And I think even if you don't know nothing, you got no parents, because that's some people's reality. Or they got parents, but you know.
I don't know, right? Because we go into the workplaces and we learn that the boss can disrespect us. If we be real and honest, we learn that there's a hierarchy, and we learn some things that we have to learn about swallowing our pride and humbleness. So we know our manners and respect ain't gonna get us 100%. We have to be real in this Western world that we live in. Our black children, our manners and respect only get us so far.
But you know what? If you teach the child manners and respect, as a child, there's nothing, you see, if you kick off as a child, they're either going to put you on medication or they're going to lock you down. Yeah, it's going to go against you. You've got to be smart. So when you've got manners and respect, it kind of trims your temper a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Because I remember when I was coming out, yeah, when I came out into the world then, I came out young and I saw the kids that never got the same upbringing as me, yeah, never got the same teachings, and they used to just kick off. And they were lovely, you know, normal children just like me, but they never got that, those kind of talking.
Or
so,
was they children without love? Was love missing in the element of
do you know what?
space?
There could have been love somewhere there, you know, but you know, it's
But it wasn't the same.
But what I mean
love
is,
kind of
yeah,
thing.
just they weren't taught about manners and respect. You understand what I mean? So
Okay.
they talk to all adults the same, all people the same. You know,
Right.
their mannerisms are different.
Boom. See, in a nutshell, give me, see that same question I asked. The best advice you could give to a child as a parent. Give me it in a nutshell.
So a sentence, or
Yeah, a sentence.
but there's mine. Manners and respect will carry you through the world.
Yeah, cool. What's yours, brother?
Basically said, which is, you know, to be, the best thing is to be prepared, try and prepare yourself, do you know what I mean?
Okay.
You know?
Preparation.
Be happy,
And be
but
happy.
be aware of consequence.
Alright, cool. But no problem with that. So, there's an age that comes. You're not there yet, but no, you are there. You're there now. The child's 15. You're there now, you've got teenagers. You'll soon be there. There's an age that comes. And it's the teens. And you see when the teens come, yeah? You remember what you like to be a teen? You remember what you like to be a teen?
Yeah.
You remember what you like to be a teen? Now let me tell you something,
The
yeah?
hormones.
So let me tell you something now, yeah? Yes, Dad. I wanted to go teen rage. Yeah? Teen rage. I wanted to go raving. And my parents wouldn't let me go raving. Right. I didn't like it. I rebelled. I ran away and all this type of stuff. Now I'm older. I can understand what it was all about. I think they was a bit harsh in the way they did it. But I can understand why they didn't want me going to some of these places. And even more so today, when your child might not come home. Because you might get stabbed or shot. So, how do you feel about your child being a teen today and wanting to go to the party down the road because Donnie John's there or whoever really,
Listen,
you know what
I've
I
just
mean?
battled this week because my son's been going to parties, and
How do you deal with it?
I let my son experience these things. I don't say no as much as I want to. I let him experience these things. He's with family, so I feel he's in an environment where there is a level of safety. Yes, I know anything can happen in anywhere, but my son could step out on the road and get hit by a car. I can't live with that level of anxiety. I can't. So I've got another child to raise while he's going to be an adult. So when the big one goes, I've still got to have a frame of mind for him. I can't be pottering around going, how come he ain't text me and all that kind of silliness, because that to me is a waste of energy. He's still going to have a good time, and I've paced around my house going on nuts. And I see lots of women mostly, because we have an anxiety of our kids coming home, because they're usually coming home to us. But and not to say that I haven't seen the dads do it for their daughters and their sons same way, but we've just got to give them the right tools to handle themselves when they leave the house. And that's why he's allowed out to do these things, because I believe he's got enough of them tools to go to a party. If him not, him can run. Him leg long, he can run. And I told him that as well. I said, if you feel out of your depth, yes, you run. And what?
Okay. So that's how you feel about it. That's how you feel about it.
Parties and that. I'll be honest. I'm slowly becoming less.
Are you getting strict? Like what I'm saying is, yeah. You see when, all right then. What I'm saying is.
I'm not getting
Let me
strict
say
with
something.
my parents.
Let me say something real fun. What I'm saying is, you see when I was a child, yeah, I said when I have children, I'm gonna let them do what they want.
Nah,
Yeah, that's
I never said that.
what when you was a child.
Nah.
Lies.
Nah.
Lies.
Nah, bro. I knew what I was doing, bro. I was like, I hope my kids don't do what I was doing.
When the parents,
I could do
please, God, don't let my kids do any of the stuff that I
that's why.
So
That's
I
why.
had the limitation
That's why.
of being able to
That's
do
why.
lots
Mine
of
weren't like that.
things.
I had to dust out to do what I wanted to do. No, them way then.
Nah, I did when I was 16.
Yeah, I had to dust out.
Yeah,
to
when
do
I
what
was
wanted
16,
do.
I wanted to
You
go out.
understand?
Yeah,
It was where your
I
parents
understand
were,
that.
were on. They went, yeah.
Some
I
kids
hear
are
that.
ready to bust out, some kids aren't. But that's the
Yeah,
truth.
mine doesn't
Some
want to.
people
She's not like
None of the shit that I was
Like a
doing,
little small
yeah,
circle.
none of the shit that I was doing, yeah, I could live under my parents' roof and do. They weren't fucking having it. They weren't having it.
Yeah.
You understand? And I respect you.
Yeah.
Respect
now
you.
you respect them.
Yeah, respect
wouldn't
you.
have
Yeah, I've got brothers
That's
and
what I'm
sisters,
saying.
I understand.
I don't think I'd be that
You can't
strong.
be doing certain things
I
around your
respect them.
siblings.
I'd respect them because if Nevaeh, if my daughter,
But the mad
Yeah.
thing is, you see what we said earlier on? You still end up doing it anyway. You know what? If you're gonna do it,
Yeah.
you're gonna do it.
Exactly. So, you know, I see it as there's certain battles that I had with my mum that I don't want with my son.
what I do is I'm open with my child, so I can sit down and talk about nothing with my family. You understand? When I was growing up, I couldn't talk about nothing. So I had to go out on the road and learn. And I think that's where the dangers lied. So with my daughter, I've made it very clear to the
That
point
you
where,
can speak,
yeah,
that
you
can
speak,
to her,
you
she can
come.
speak to you.
And she does, she comes, you know, and because she's her own self, she'll come and I'm like, okay, she'll tell me what she wants to tell me.
Alright.
You know, but I just keep it well open. My family's very open. That's what I love about my family. Do you know what I mean?
How do you feel about beating the children?
Beating, I think that what you call it, you need to. If you're picking them right, it depends on the child, right? Some kids they listen. Every child's different. They don't need licks.
Pass that window.
Some
cuz.
kids, yeah, they do need a hard slap on the bottom sometimes. Yeah, there's a difference between abusing your child and beating.
But
There's a
There's a time
difference
that you gotta
between
stop.
discipline and abuse. Full
Yeah,
stop.
and
That's what I'm saying.
there is a time that you gotta stop.
Yeah, you get an age. You mean?
Yeah, an age.
Yeah.
Every
What's that
child
beating?
is in that way.
Yeah.
Was that beating?
Yeah.
Alright, boom. What you got to say?
At the age you gotta start. You can't beat your child when they're my baby.
Alright,
You
cool.
understand?
Cool, no problem. What you got to say on that?
I used to kind of agree to that still, but I've kind of like come to discover that realistically to actually hit another human being, yeah,
Disgusting, yeah?
like it doesn't make sense. Like how am I teaching the discipline? It's because of basically what we've been taught.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Why you do that? And I do understand. Obviously, that's the reason why I go back to being ready
I don't know.
as a parent and teaching your children what you teach them, and also making sure that they're only in a certain environment so they won't react in certain ways, because obviously they're not taught certain things.
Yeah, I do
Again,
think
is
that beating a
limiting-
child is a cop
You understand what I'm saying? But
I
that's
agree in
just
that
the
sense.
reality.
It's a shortcut.
And that goes with
Nah, I think
a
if you don't
village.
snap your child's hand, they're gonna touch the fire.
Yeah, but I do think it's a shortcut.
Well,
You think
they
that you
touch
can
the
talk-
fire and they
you
never-
can
they
talk to
never-
them.
Like
You
when I
are
was
right.
little,
You can
yeah,
talk to them.
right, there was a little fireplace. Don't touch it because it will burn you. Yeah, got slapped enough times. Yeah, I had to touch it and burn myself.
But you know what?
to-
Sometimes the beatings can't
You understand
stop
what I'm
you.
saying?
No,
so
but
why
that's,
you getting
that's
touched?
you
You understand what I'm
as a
saying?
child. That you as that child that the beatings couldn't stop
Yeah,
you.
I was that child
Some
too.
kids can have the one little tap on their hand
That's
and then
it.
fine.
That's true,
And
that's
you're
very
just
true. That's
all
very
kids are
true.
so different. You can't just say,
But
oh, beating for nobody, because I'm telling you, them bulger kids could have get a boss ass and they might not have been so.
Yeah, but you know what? Also, on top of that, I think you have to think, because I've worked as a nursery nurse and stuff like that, right? And I've had to deal with bad behaviour. When it's not your child, especially, right? You cannot beat the child, no matter what the child is doing, right? And you've got to find a way. And that taught me to be a better parent. I was thinking, right, if I've got all this much patience for someone else's child and not that much patience for my own, it made me check
Exactly.
myself. Do you know what I mean?
You see me, I'm not really, I shouldn't really have an opinion on it. But my opinion is, yeah, you shouldn't beat the children.
Okay, it's fair.
I believe, yeah, that if you deal with them right, you'll have to talk to
I
them.
agree.
Listen
I
to me,
agree.
you'll have
Even
to
though I
talk.
did say boss
You
ass.
will have to talk to them
I do agree.
tons. Tons, you know.
Yeah, tons.
You'll have to talk to them tons.
So can I say something?
Yeah,
Sorry to cut
but
you.
I don't agree with beating the children.
Can I
You
say something
understand?
on top of that then? When you say you have to talk to them tons, this is why I did say...
You
I-
see
I
the
don't
gangster youth
against
though.
it.
You see the
Because-
gangster youth them though.
Yeah.
Then forget a boss ass. Yeah. But that's what. That's
But when did they become a
Because that's
gangster
all they
youth?
understand.
But when
That's
did
why
they
that's
become a
all
gangster
they
youth?
understand.
When did they become a gangster
What's
youth?
a gangster
You know what I mean? Because before there was a little boy
No,
betrayed.
no, 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 gangster youth. You know what I mean?
No.
They're kind of
You don't live in it. You don't live in it. You don't live in
Yeah,
the
That's
same
like
place.
Jude, that's like saying that man Jude's or Judas.
What's a gangster
Nah,
youth?
it's-
What's a gangster youth? What do you mean what's a gangster youth? What is a gangster youth? What am I talking about? I'm on about black youth that kill black youth. What do you want about?
Oh,
What do you-
so teenagers.
That's where, but we're not. They're not regular teenagers, are they? They're
I'm just
acting
saying,
some
like,
gangster role. They're killing.
Do you know what I'm saying?
One another.
I'm saying
that's some
that-
gangster use, isn't it? That's
Listen,
the role they're
They need a
holding up,
bus
innit?
ass, but what you say, do you not feel like those children have already, the parents have already
But
lost
it's
control
bust
of
that,
them?
yeah. That's why
Sorry,
they're
say
like
that
that.
again?
Their parents have already gone wild and bust them up.
The parents
Now,
have
see,
lost
this-
control.
See, this is
That's
the
why they're
thing. See,
picking
this is
them.
See, this is what
It's funny, you know.
Listen.
Because you know why it's funny? Because these are all just opinions. You know?
Yeah.
It's funny.
So that's
Because
what I was gonna
nobody's
say.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say is that at the end of the day, like, you can't just say it's down to, like, I would say that children are born that way. Do you understand what I'm saying? Some children, like, okay, yeah, like you're saying, you could give the child a slap, but some children are born that way. They ain't like their parents could be churchgoers, but they will get that metal car. Remember when we was little, get that metal Tonka toy and bust off. But you get me, bust it in another youth's
Bust up
head
to
because. Do you
That's
get
why
me?
they feel
they can.
Yeah,
No,
Nothing will
because
happen.
and they don't care.
There's no
And
consequence.
that's that type of person.
Or
They're the
the
type of people that kill people.
And that's
Do you understand what I'm
the
saying?
consequence weren't taught to them at the younger.
Well, not even
no,
that.
Yeah,
no,
everything
because
has a
the
consequence.
Nah, I wouldn't say. I'm
The
sorry. I'm
consequence that was
sorry.
given
I
wasn't
disagree with
sufficient
that.
enough for that
I
child
disagree
to
with that.
then-
They are who they are. Some.
Yeah.
Do you get me? That soul is
You
that
gotta change
soul.
consequences.
Nah, I
You
don't
get me?
believe
Yeah,
that
that
they
soul.
Can I
is
say
that soul.
something,
Some
though?
people.
What,
that
do you
soul is
believe-
that soul.
I believe
Do you
it's
believe
nature.
everybody can be changed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you believe everyone can be changed? And your belief on this is that some people are just the way they
Some
are.
people are just the way that they are.
Nothing not wrong, they're all opinions.
Yeah.
Nothing
You know what
not
I
wrong
mean?
at all.
I used to think that maybe, you know, but some rocks can't be unturned like it says.
There's
I don't
always
believe
trauma
in the Bible, so,
in anyone
but
that like gives
it
up.
said,
So that's what you think about discipline. So I think people should.
they have to wait to the very end
I know what you mean though,
till
there are
it's
some
on their
evil sins.
deathbed.
There are some
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but there's some that don't even on the
You get-
deathbed.
No, exactly, that's my point. Like
Evil.
you're saying,
They're
they
never
can be
evil to the
turned.
end.
Yeah, but
Some
we're
of these
saying
children
turn for
Okay.
into what?
have
I hear
come
you.
here.
We've
I've got
got
a
good
brilliant
and bad
one.
as
You
our
understand?
representation.
I've got a brilliant
Some
one
people
here.
don't see the good. Some people think, oh, life is bad and they must be bad. We've got the balance of
I hear
good
what
and
you're
bad.
saying. Exactly.
Yeah,
if someone's
perspective
gonna,
of that.
see this what we okay then. So again, these gangster youths that are out there killing people. Remember, they think what they're doing is good. You know,
Listen,
they're
what
making
gangster
money.
youths?
Yeah, I know.
I want that. No, I need them to understand
look.
the gangster youths that we're on about before we carry on speaking.
Yeah, you know what you know, what you
But
need
you know,
now.
innit?
The
Like,
gang.
Good. Alright,
Gang
carry on
bang.
then.
Nah. Go on.
No, you need to carry on. The something's rolling.
Yeah, I'm done on that. Done on there.
I know,
You get
because
me?
it's distressing. What happened to me the other day, I was walking back home from a walk and I could hear these boys running. But then I could see this big group behind them. But when I looked back at the boy's got a knife big as his arm in his hand running. And my first point of call is, you're gonna stab somebody's son with that?
Yeah.
And I said it so
Yeah.
loud and it was so, like there was
I've seen
pain in
it.
my
I've been
voice.
there in
I couldn't
town.
think of anything else. I'm just like, this little youth, because he looked like he wasn't 16.
Yeah,
he had
yeah.
the blue tip top lips running through the bloody town.
Oh,
and I'm looking at him
no.
like, you look like a pit, you're somebody's pitney with a big knife like that.
Yeah.
That's
And I
what-
shamed him up and all of a sudden he's trying to hide it. And I'm like, I'm calling police. And I wish I did, you know, because imagine if, when
Did
I'm
they catch
thinking
him?
about it, when I'm thinking about it, my son walks through the same gully. Now him just minding him own business, running through, and they're running now because they're scared that police is coming, and my son's coming the other direction. This is like
Altercation.
Altercation could happen. They're in a gully. This gully got no people, no houses. It's on a golf course. That was the first thought. It's like, my son could have just got stabbed now. And I could have made the situation worse because I've shouted out like that.
Just like
and
that.
That's how I've got to think.
Just like that.
Yeah. You shouldn't even be
Right,
in
I've
that
got another
situation.
question. Because this is funny. You see, a lot of parents, they like to hide things from their children. They like to go and like things don't happen, or like I've got, for an example, it's not a bad thing. It's definitely not a bad thing. I've got a friend, yeah, who hid that he smoked from his children.
Okay.
But the other day, his children caught him smoking. So it was all a bit funny, and he had to say, "Well, it's none of your business, really." Do you know what I mean? But
Okay.
you can see why he did that. Do you know what I mean? So you can see why he did that.
Because I said.
So let's talk about being real with your children.
Yeah.
How real?
'Cause I say-
how real are you with your children?
Honestly, yeah, to tell your children not to smoke, no matter what, yeah. If you smoke, yeah, then you're gonna tell your child not to smoke, yeah. then obviously it's for, you know, it's for the good
Well, yeah,
of the child.
yeah,
But you're a
but-
hypocrite.
Yeah.
Me nasty no,
And then the trust
because I don't
is
want to be a
broken.
hypocrite. My kids tell me to quit and I say
Exactly.
enjoy it. I say enjoy it.
Yeah.
I be real, I say I enjoy it. I don't say, oh, I'm going to quit, babes, none of that talk. I ain't lying to myself, I ain't lying to my kids.
Yeah.
I say I enjoy it, it's for adults. We don't discuss it till you're 18 and can buy them. Done. End of
You
conversation.
see what it is?
That's brilliant.
You see what it is?
I mean on everything.
No, but
Like,
everything is
that
age.
that
There is
do.
age
Do you know what I
appropriate
mean?
knowledge that your kids need. You don't need to tell your kids at 4 certain things, but
No,
at
definitely
14,
not. I would
when
say-
they're becoming people, there's honesties you might need to give your children. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, that's in the
you
guidance
live
and
them in the
education
Bible, you
you
live
give
them in
them.
a bubble of being young, and you want them to stay a little bit young
you
for
do.
as much as possible. But that's how I see it.
No,
yeah.
we do.
Protect them.
We do, of course.
So
That's how I
when
feel
life
anyway.
starts giving them reality, you've got to make sure they're prepared to
Prepared.
all realities. So you don't let them hear nothing about you on road or hear from nanny and granddad, because you know I'm sure it's happened to us all. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Little innocent
That's
things
how
that
I was
maybe
smart.
not so innocent to
I was
us.
smart
but it's
enough.
got, you know, maybe they scarned you or and people bring it
To
up
be-
and your
to-
them
to-
things affect you.
To be honest, I would say that, you know, like, in that sense with my children, they virtually know everything. I make them know everything. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, they may be young, but I would rather them, you know than to find something out later on or not know. Do you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
And
I
that's
try
why
to be.
I think it's hard in two-parent families though sometimes.
Two-parent families.
That's two parents.
It's, you know, no, not two-parent families,
Oh,
when you're
yes.
separate,
Yeah,
because
separated, yeah.
if you're separate, they've got their own
Their own,
truths
yeah,
to tell,
to tell,
and
yeah.
that's a balance of
Yeah.
you. Sometimes you ain't got a choice in deciding when they tell them truths, and when they're telling their kids things. Maybe you have decided as a parent your kids ain't ready, and you spent the most time with them,
Yeah.
and then if the parent comes along and gives them a whole heap of truths,
Yeah.
and yeah, he still has the right to, but now you have to deal with the consequence of that, and you have to coach and counsel your child
Yeah.
because your child wasn't ready for the information.
Yeah, 'cause you haven't prepared them.
And you just want to be truthful as
of
the
course.
opposite partner, and you want to give them your side of the story when it's not even relevant, because kids not bad about story, they just care who's there. You know what I mean? That's all
So
they
the
care.
truth is relevant with their age.
Yeah.
With the time, not their age, because everybody matures different.
Yeah, that's
so
what
the
age is.
truth
yeah,
is
definitely.
relevant
Yeah.
with the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we can say about that.
Yeah.
And we all agree.
And the situation.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And the situation.
Situations,
Yeah.
because things
And
come up.
it's different, yeah.
Alright, no problem with that. What's the biggest challenges of being a parent? Biggest challenges of being a parent?
I would
Well,
say
You know there's a whole heap.
as a whole heap.
I would say
Oh.
it is being a parent.
One
yeah,
of
that's
mine.
the challenge
So would you want
itself.
each person?
Is molding that being to be the best being that it possibly can
So
be.
just
That's
raising
your job.
them in general.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
When did you
So that's
realise
the
that was your job?
That's-
When did you realise that was your job?
I knew that was the job from before having children.
Alright, cool.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Cool. Yeah, carry on with your answer still.
Okay.
The challenges, we're on about
Yeah,
the
I
challenges.
was going to say
There's
my
so
one.
many.
Yeah,
It's
I was going to
right.
say raising a child as a black child in a world that's systematically racist, and explaining that to your child. That's like
Can I ask you something? Do you think you have to? Everybody actually, not you.
Yeah, go on.
Do you think you have to explain that to
Yeah,
your child?
I
Yes.
do. I have from the.
Yes.
Can I say why? Can I say why? Can I say why?
Go on,
Can I
go
say
on.
why?
You
Can I say
sorry,
why?
didn't let you
Yeah,
finish.
and I'm not against none of it. Like I said, it's opinions.
Yeah.
You lot have all agreed, so you lot are all on the same opinion. But if someone was here saying no, they'll have a reason for it, and their reason might be that if they don't know that, it may not affect them.
But we have to
Right.
tell them because it has affected them. It's not, we're never putting that on them beforehand. We want them to have a fair chance of getting through school life. But if the psychologists have said at 8 they no longer see a black boy as a child, he's now an adult, and that's how teachers represent a child in the classroom next to his 8-year-old peers, my child's got not a chance. Because he looks like a 12-year-old at 8.
And that's a reality.
That's a
That
reality.
is my reality.
no, and this is the thing. The truth of the matter at the moment is everybody's very desensitized. Yeah, and everyone's so busy, caught up with their own bullshit, like to say, that until it happens to you, you don't give a shit. Yeah, and the system exists, and it's only when these Black Lives Matter things started happening to me where I was like, at first I was like, no, not paying attention, I'm watching, but I'm not investing my emotions, because when I was a teenager, I came out in the world and I was that statistic in it, so I was in the system, like, just dodging all the bullets. I was there, and my thing was, let me get out of it, yeah, and then I kind of come out of it and forgot what it was like being in it. Does that make sense? A little bit, I understand, but I'm not feeling it. I'm doing a different battle now. I'm a mum. Do you get me? I'm placing my children in society and X, Y, Z, yeah? But when the riots happened now, yeah, at first, when it wasn't what the black man dying or anything that made me think, okay, time to explain systematic racism to my children, because that happens every freaking day.
Was you not explaining it to them before that?
Nah, bro, no.
Right,
So I'm not able to. I had a nightmare, man.
You might have
my kids don't want to hear that.
But you might have to, because where you're placed now, them subjects need to be taught.
No, now I know.
I brought my kids into an area of Birmingham called.
So you're saying, depending on the area where you live,
that's
the environment,
it's
going to be a whole, different,
but not really
for that child.
Okay.
And
maybe not bringing up. What I'm saying is the conversation for me now, since Black Lives Matter has changed, is the same for everybody. It's brought everybody on the same platform. If you are, you know, not ignorant and you understand what's going on out here, because at the end of the day, yeah, it was a different conversation for different environments and different, you know what I mean? Because a mixed race child and a black child have got two different conversations. Let's talk about it.
But some of them have got the same conversations, they just haven't spoken to each other properly.
You know what I mean?
When you start listening to them, they have still got some of the same conversations.
Yeah, they do. But there's different,
and not just that.
Situations.
They're still seen as black.
Okay, but what I'm saying is a dark-skinned black child, yeah, and a mixed race child will have different experiences in the systematic
Do you know
racism.
what? You're so right, because I've even got family members that will treat their own differently.
Yeah, it's
because of
systematic.
The skin complexion.
It's throughout
White
everything.
skin is better than dark.
Yeah, it's there. But my point is, it exists,
Yeah.
right? So if you've got a dark-skinned child, your conversation will be different to your light-skinned child. Trust me. But you have to have, obviously, it's a unit, so I will have that conversation openly about everything. Do you know what I mean? Because we're all one family, so you need to know what she's going through, and you need to know what he's going through, and X, Y, and Z. Do you know what I mean? Which are conversations that didn't happen when I was growing up, but me and my sister knew, because my sister's dark and I was light, and we were treated differently. Do you get me?
So what, you was treated better?
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to get away with bare shit.
Okay.
And she used to get, like, if she did it, like,
nice
when she used to get it, it was
nice
peak. It was
nice
like,
that you could
take her out the game, shit. Medication. I was like, whoa, why does it have to be that deep?
Okay.
Yeah, it was take out. Yeah, so it's a whole different, and then so her anger is different to my anger, her reality is different to my reality.
Yes,
that's true.
But we meet in the middle.
That's why they say the angry black woman, but for real, it's real.
But I didn't think I had to teach that to my child. I thought that was then.
It is
this
different.
is now. You can make it. What life is, what you make it. So I've always done that, and I've then clashed with partners, yeah, of my children, or just in general, you know, that say that I grow my children up in a bubble. Yeah, even
carry on.
yeah.
I love what you said before about
what I mean?
it being systematic, that being one of the challenges.
Yeah,
you hit
systematic.
a
For
big
me,
point
it's something that's a constant. I'm just so happy now that the conversation, we can have it. It's uncomfortable. We're allowed to be uncomfortable now. I'm so glad that this is. I can actually sit down and say this. I'm so happy because I want to hear a mixed race person tell me every single thing. White person tell me every single thing.
It was so PC. Politically correct.
Yeah.
And everybody had to speak correct.
Yeah.
Or you're gonna get
if we're gonna do PC,
left, right, and centre.
Politically correct. My first racism was only of black people, and I went to a school in the middle of King's Standing.
Wow. Now
they told me I weren't black enough.
Experience.
They told me I weren't black enough to sit down with them. When I was in junior school, I had to sit on the mixed race mat. The black kids sat together.
Are you hearing this?
That's crazy. I've never
we're talking about challenges.
We're being real.
This is 2020.
The called being smartest every corner in a tube, and that was from the black kids.
Yeah.
That's how I grew up. I grew up in a Rastafarian environment. Rastafarians aren't allowed to be mixed race. Your mum's white, you can't be a Rasta. I grew up with a lot of racism of black community, and I still am a black woman.
And I'm gonna hit you off like this. What would you see as a parent to be the best parent they could be? How would you tell a parent, what kind of advice would you give to a young parent about parenting then?
Don't compare yourself to other parents. Your battle is your own because your kids are unique and special and amazing and beautiful, and their journey is their own journey. Yeah, there's people that can give you advice, and that you can go and get support and family and all them things, but don't compare yourself to the Joneses. It's it leads to anxiety. You that thing.
I like that very much. I like the answer there. And what have you got to say there, Lavern?
I would say find the blessing in being a parent and enjoy it. So there's so much fun from having children and raising them, and that would be my thing. Just
I love that.
regardless of stress.
So you've taken the good side out of being a parent rather than the baby bawling as a bad thing and the baby pooing up the panties.
No, it's part of the package. Like they're people. Someone's got to do it. And,
that's good.
That part of it for me was never a struggle.
That's lovely. What you got to say about that? You want to recap?
What was the different question?
The question was, how would you tell a parent to be the best parent they could be? How would you
A new
tell
parent.
a new parent? What advice would you give to a parent about parenting, basically?
One of the things is listening is key, because obviously a lot of us we always get bogged down in what we're doing, and kind of dismiss them as like their only children. What they've got to say is not important, but obviously their life is their life. Like we're not, even though we're in control, we're not in control of their full. Do you get me? Destiny. Like obviously they interact, and do you know what I mean? And there's stuff that they. Do you know what I mean? There's stuff that they. You know what I mean, are going through, and so they are trying to communicate sometimes, and we're just, do you know what I mean? That's why we might miss
I
things.
think listening.
Yeah, listening is definitely key, but obviously, a good structure, making sure that, that you provide a good structure for your child, you know what I mean? So obviously it is your position to provide.
Oh, you said that. We're going to go on to that.
To provide in the ways that you can. Maybe some people can't provide in other ways, but do you know what I mean? Whatever you can do, like, hobbies and stuff that you make sure that your children can do, like football, gymnastics or whatever, do you know what I mean? Because I know a lot of people don't do that. I never got to do certain things, do you know what I mean? And those things are key and vital to the upbringing of your child. Do you know what I mean?
You know what? I love the way you kicked that off. Within what he said structure. I think that was brilliant. Can we talk about structure?
I grew up with a lot of structure. I had after school activities to have dinner at the certain time, get up at the same time. The routine was there. The discipline was always the same. I grew up with structure, but I've seen what happens to kids that didn't grow up in structure. So that wasn't a lesson I wasn't going to, repeat with my own children. So they've got structure. They've got after school activities, and.
Can I cut you quickly?
Yeah, sure.
What did you see with the children without structure? The differences you saw?
The lack of concentration.
Okay.
You see, I think because they haven't been given tasks to do. When you give them a task to do, they don't go and wander and they do other things. And I think it's a major thing, and then it affects them at school, and the teachers, when they ask them to do things, they wander and they go and do other things. And that structure, teachers can see that lack of structure by the fact that the child reacts in this way.
Because it creates discipline.
Could you give some examples, two examples of structure?
Structure is like having your dinner at the same times every day, straight up, and sitting down at the table where you're opposite your child. You're not sitting across a TV. The TV's not on. There's not that. It's not about that level of engagement. Yeah, 1 or 2 dinners in front of the TV. I'm not saying that it all has to be so regimented that your child don't know any other way. They've got to have the level of experience
that you sit down and eat
that they know that we do that as a regular, and that is a treat. And when we do that, it's a family thing together, and it's not, the kids go sit down and watch telly and big people do other things. I've seen that in other households, and it might work for them, but for me, that is a part of the structure that I think is very important for a family, and raising kids and the community as a family.
Wow, I like that. And what you got to say about structure, Lavern?
I think it's important to engage with other family members as well, and create that family structure between grandparents and aunties and uncles and cousins, so you get to know the child gets to know like their place in the family, and you know, like who they can go to for certain things. And I
hear
think
exactly what you're saying.
that's really important. Also, you know, whether it's Christmas, birthday, celebrations, kids look out to family, but if you don't have that structure in place, it can make things quite confusing.
Could you give me an example of a structure that you'd give your child?
Well, the structure that I kind of find my children with is I engage with the key people in my family that I know will keep my children safe, that I can rely on, and you know, vice versa. And I provide them with extracurricular activities, like we go to scouts. I find that we need to do things as a family, and I volunteer there as a leader because I felt like I needed to kind of see what my children are like out of the home
doing things as a family, as a family is important.
As a family.
Period. Doing things as a family is important.
Very important. Very important.
Do you know what I mean? Everybody being there at the same time. Alright, in saying that, from the structure, we're going to co-parenting because it's to do with structure, and we're going into co-parenting now. So with co-parenting, what do you think of being a single parent or a co-parent? Do you think it's easier being a co-parent, easier being a single parent, or it depends on the individual of the person dealing with the parenting? I know it's a killer of a question.
See, I class myself as a co-parent. I have, you know, my kids' dad's involved in their lives.
Great.
I've got a mum and dad who are involved in my life, and they're, you know, a vitally important part of our family. They've got aunts and uncles and cousins who they see regularly. So, and I've made that my thing. Sunday at mums and having dinner is still a vital part of our lifestyle. And it always will be until I become the matriarch, and then I have to be the person to host that lifestyle, because I believe that's part of my culture, and that's what I will carry on for them to experience and then to try and pass on to their children and so forth. And
I love how you put that. What you got to say about that? That was beautifully said.
Yeah, so I think co-parenting for me is, I grew up in a way, well, my children only have me to say. Yeah, I do have my family and whatnot, but they live in London, I live here. So it's just me in terms of dealing with the partners. Does that make sense? Unless it's serious. But basically, what my point is, I believe that children should always be allowed to see their fathers.
I love that.
They should get to know them, unless there is, you know, a risk, like, you know, they're on drugs, or, you know, there's going to be harm to your child, basically, in that father's care. Then I would still then reach out to family members of the father. I would just cut it off dead like that. Do you know what I mean? I would try. I'll be open. If there is nothing coming from the other side, then I'll just crack on and do what I need to do.
Sorry, in saying what you just said, what do you think of them parents? Like, sometimes you get some sour mothers that don't want the children to see the fathers. What do you think of situations like that? Do you think that's right, or do you think that's wrong?
there's a lot of control in that, and I think that is an abuse. And we talk about the emotional abuse of women from men, and that is an emotional abuse that them women are doing to their men and to their children.
And to their children.
And I don't see it as anything less. If you've laid down with this person, you walk halfway every time because you lay down with them. Them children did not ask to be born. They're in the middle of this environment that you continue to create to be toxic. Yeah?
I love that.
And there'll be women that say, oh, nah, and I don't care. But they let me down as women. They let me down as a mother. They embarrass me sometimes when I hear some rubbish that women will do to stop their children from having, you know, access to the parents and the family of their, you know, of the other side. They make me sick.
Yeah,
they make me sick because my children's got to grow up with them children who are going to have problems. And my kids, I want them to have a fair chance in this world.
Me too.
And then them are the people that would date. And I feel sick because them women ain't looking for change. And that's probably one of the hardest things. It takes real major catalysts for them women to change their opinion. They're so rigid without the growth that you need as a parent. You're supposed to be growing with your kids. When you see your child, there's certain times a child needs their father more as a mom that I recognised, and I had to let go of reins, and it hurt and it was hard because, yeah, I liked the control, but I knew the longer I did it, it was an abuse.
You knew that?
I felt it. As a parent, I was aware of myself. Not many people are going to be looking into themselves because they're all caught up in the situation. They want to have blame and them sort of things.
And pain.
Blame and pain.
What have you got to say to people like that? Because you seem passionate about it.
Do you know what? It upsets me because if there was more love in your home, your kids would, you know, they would be going to the father's house. If there was more love in your home, because it starts here. Your bitterness is toxic. It's ruining homes. You want to worry about the sons. Let's worry about mums. I'll give you a hug if you need love, because I got love to give. And that's what I'm saying to the mums out there. You need love. Go look for your mum. Go give her a big hug. You need to start seeing love. Stop watching your American programs and your hip hop and Love Atlanta and all the madness there, so because they ain't real. They are not supporting you. They do not put food on your table, and they are not raising your sons. Your son ain't bringing one home. He ain't bringing no hottie. The real world is here, and you can live up in your bubble in your social media. It's not real. You're raising your kids in the real world. They're seeing you oohing and your ahhing and who you like now. That's what you're showing your kids, and little boys don't need to see who's hot and not. It's not for them business.
Yes, I love that. I love that. It was very well said. Have you got anything to say on that?
Boy, they kind of put it in a nutshell, really. I'd say there's, you know, with co-parenting, like, you know, it's something that, you know, both parents should be able to be adults when it comes to the children. It doesn't matter about how you emotionally feel about the situation. Like, you got to be able to put that completely aside, yeah, and be like, okay, but these are the most important thing in my life, and they come first. So no matter what, I'm trying to like salvage the situation so that they can have the best in the situation. Do you know what I mean? So co-parenting is something that can be, it should be smooth and easy, but it's not.
It can be hard.
Yeah, it can be hard.
It can be hard if the other.
It can be
hard if the other person.
Life is never easy.
Wait a minute. Can it be hard?
It can be hard.
Wait a minute.
Communication doesn't have to be hard. That's what I mean.
That's brilliant.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely
Because
Absolutely
just because you feel like that's got to go out of the window. Do you know what I mean? How you emotionally feel because of whatever happened in the relationship that you share when you created this child. Yeah. That's got to go completely out of the window when it comes to raising the child.
Yeah.
Do you get me? And making a decision. It can't be based on, well, you did da-da-da-da-da, so I'm not going to do da-da-da-da. You understand what I'm saying? Because,
Here with that.
you know what I mean? That's the reason why we're in
That's how you
this
move
situation.
forward.
That's why we're not
We're in.
village raising our
Yeah.
kids no more.
Exactly.
That's what you know. We're supposed to be fighting for. Talking about Black Lives Matters and how do we raise our kids with the community?
That's
if
how
the
it used
community
to
they're
be.
having all these selfish thoughts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We can't be raising them together.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
It takes a village to raise a child.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It really does.
It takes a village to raise a child, and we need to keep it old school. We need to keep it like that. Has anybody got anything to say to keep parenting, to leave parenting on a positive note?
Yeah, man, I love being a parent. I'm actually more surprised how much I liked being a parent. I was so concerned that I wasn't going to like it because I was a party girl and I liked partying.
Okay.
But then the joys, there were so many joys of being a parent. My kids have made me so proud.
Brilliant.
I've got one in grammar school and one homeschooled. They make me joyful.
Can I ask you a stupid question? What makes you proud as a parent? And I say it's stupid because if you ask each and every individual parent what makes them proud as a parent, they will tell you a different thing.
Yeah, it's true.
And I've heard some diabolical things that make a parent proud. So I just like to know what makes you proud as a parent.
What makes me proud as a parent is that I had a path for my kids and I said, I want you to be like this. And they've achieved what they wanted regardless. And that makes me super, super, super proud. They've achieved. They went their own way and still achieved. And then I now have to support them 100% because they did that.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So that's my pride in
I love
my
it.
kids.
I love it. Same question to you. Miss Lavern?
What's made me proud? Similar, to be fair. Just the fact that, you know, I've raised my children, you know, practically alone, you know, and I think that the way they've turned out, they've got manners, respect, you know, the basics. You know, they're lovely children, and I just feel proud of how they've turned out. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course it does.
Yeah, that's it really. That's all I can say.
On a positive note.
Yeah, on a positive note, I just thank God for them.
What do you want to say about parenting on a positive note about parents? Just put.
I would say, my thing is,
out
if I was saying this out there to people that don't have kids, or, you know, I would say, you know, live your life. You know, live your life first. Yeah, get yourself into a position where you're financially stable. That is the main thing. That's what I would tell my children to do.
That's what you said.
Yeah, I would. But if you don't, if it doesn't work out that way, because that's what life's about. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't always go to plan.
Yeah.
Understand that you can, as long as you've got support and you know you're a person that wants to do well for your children, you will do well for your children. There's nothing to really worry about. So either you will or you won't.
I like that very much. And what you got to say to end it on a positive note about parenting?
No, they've touched on, I'll say the same thing again, structure, yeah, that is very important.
Network to get work, I live it. If I put it in my butt, then I did it. Couldn't give a toss about an image. Some more time to think a nigga tripping. Leave a nigga permanently kipping. Something I got dead if the other don't kick him. Bring it to the council, council said kill him. We ain't having that bullshit in this village. Motor for every girl is me with a